Hello and welcome to the Downsides Dish. My name is Lorraine Durham, and this is our platform where every week we talk to someone about their GLP-1 journey. People that are on medications like Wegovy, Zepbound, Mounjaro, Ozempic. I think I got them all. I'm your host, Lorraine Durham, and I've lost 49 pounds on the GLP-1 medication. It's my goal to share success stories from people who have used these medications to lose weight. So please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button, and that way you'll never miss an episode. And today we're talking to Barb. She's out in Iowa, and she's lost over 108 pounds using Mounjaro and Zepbound. Yay! Welcome, Barb.
Welcome. Thanks.
Thanks for coming on today. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm 58. I'm retired right now. I have two kids that are married and have children and live in the area, so see them
Nice.
quite a bit. But I started because of illness, basically, and that's why I retired. I was having issues with my legs, and of course, everywhere you go, it's because you're fat. It's just basically, if you would just lose some weight, then all of these things would just be gone.
Right.
So I went to a vein doctor and then I thought maybe it's my arteries because it's still not gone. Went to that guy. He said, no, it's your back. Okay. So I go to the chiro, and then last August, where it all started for me, is I got a bout of sciatica, which I've never had.
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was because of my back. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so if you could just lose 5 or 10 pounds, this would help your back. It would help your knees because I have knee issues also. Okay, so August 26th, I start with the doctor. I'm like, I'm losing the same 5 pounds over and over.
Yeah.
And I got to do something. And so it progressively got worse, my sciatica. And then I end up so I start right away on, she suggested several, and Mounjaro was one of them. And she said, you can take Rybelsus or you can take Mounjaro. I did a little research. It was easier at that time to get Mounjaro.
Yeah.
So I got it. And as of, now that's not the case.
Right.
But at the time I had to pay out of pocket for it. And there was no coupons for Mounjaro at that time because they had quit them just prior in July. So they didn't bring them in till December.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'll do a couple months and just see what happens. I guess that's what I got to do. So I do it. And for some reason they mess up my first order, and I only pay half price. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. This would be great. But the next one, reality came back, and it's the right price. So I do that till they get the new coupon out, and it's only for Zepbound. And my doctor was willing and said, hey, it has to be Zepbound. That's the only way it cuts it in half. I have to do this. Okay. So we do that. And in between there, I'm seeing a spine doctor. I'm getting lumbar shots. I'm getting knee shots, doing physical therapy, electrical therapy, and I'm losing weight this whole time. It's working. I'm doing the things. The only thing I can do is walk. That's it. So I end up having spondylolisthesis, which basically is a fancy name for your vertebrae is slipped. And so no heavy lifting, no twistings until you have surgery. But you don't have to have surgery. And I'm like, well, I don't want to have surgery. So they said, well, walking would help. Okay, so that's what I can do. So I stuck with that. No weightlifting, which I see after seeing all these different shows that I watch and try to keep track of. I learned a lot. My doctor is not an obesity doctor. She's just a primary doctor. And I go every month to her and we check in, and that's their policy. Well, their policy was to go up every month. So 2.5, I go for a month.
Yeah.
5, she said, well, we do that one for 2 months. And then we do 7.5. And that was And then after that, I was like, that's when I started hearing about, yeah, you should stay where you are if
Yeah.
you're having success. And I was definitely having success.
Yeah.
So at 10, I was entertaining with her, like, can we just stay on that one? Yeah. So I stayed there for 4 months, and currently I'm on 12.5 and at the tail end of the 3 month for that one. So it's been consistent for me as far as weight loss and just the walking. That's just
Yeah.
what's worked for me.
You do what you can.
Yeah. And I said
Yeah.
the walking was something that I could do, but it was also something that made my back feel good.
Oh, good.
So I had problems sitting
Mm.
and couldn't sleep. And they're like, oh, just get some sleep. It's like, I would love to get some sleep. That'll help you lose weight. It's like, I would love to sleep. So I don't know if the medicine, they say insomnia is sometimes that. I don't know if it's that or my back. So
So, how's your back now that you've lost 100 pounds? Is
it's still there, but each shot I get in my back helps a
Mhm.
little bit. But of course, you can't get those except every 3 months.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have to wait till the time frame's up. And each one I get helps a little bit.
Mhm.
I couldn't sit in the car for more than 15 minutes. And then
Oh my
we'd have to
gosh.
pull over and I would have to walk to try to
Mm.
make it stop the pain. And so it was very trying there for a while. And so
Mhm.
yes, pacing was a thing for me because that's was the pain element.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, you got to take these drugs. Well, those make you gain weight. And everything they give you is like, does that make you gain weight? Well, okay, but I got to take it.
Yeah.
So I just said, I want to get off all of it if I can. And I'm off a lot of the medicine, but still not where I'd like to be. And
Gotcha.
even my doctor said, my primary doctor, after handing me off to all the specialists, said, I thought you'd feel better by now with the weight gone. Yes, I can
Aw,
walk farther
yeah.
and longer, definitely.
So, are you still trying to lose more weight? Have you
Oh,
missed?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not to where they would want to have me BMI wise. I'm probably a good 30 pounds, 40 pounds from that. I'd probably be happy at 40. They'd probably be happy at 50. Just
Yeah.
looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's show your before picture so
okay.
everybody can see. There's you before.
No, that's after.
That's after. That's after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's amazing.
There we go. Yeah.
108 pounds. Yeah. That's really great. I mean, and you, that wasn't an easy, that wasn't an easy journey for you. It wasn't like you
No.
just, it wasn't a magic pill that just poof, it you still had to
Yeah. And I did all the
do
things.
it.
I did
Yeah.
intermittent fasting,
Mm.
portion control, calorie watching, and the walking, consistent
Yeah.
walking, and then exercises through physical therapy that I still have to do.
Gotcha. Did you have any stalls when you were moving
I'm
through the
I'm at a
dosage?
stall now.
Okay.
Probably the last month, maybe month and a half, it's not been as I mean, I've lost weight, but not to the extent I was.
Yeah.
And they always say the stall is no weight loss, but 3 weeks to me, and I haven't really lost any. But
Yeah.
maybe this week I will.
So you're on, did you say 10 milligrams
I'm
dose
on
now?
12.5
You're on
now.
12.5 now. So, and you've been on 12.5 now for how many weeks?
It been 2 months. I'm on the third month right now.
Do you think you might need to move up to
I'm
15?
hoping. I'm hoping after this round to move up, but
Yeah.
that makes me nervous because that's it,
Because then you're at the top.
that I'm at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do still have side effects on this one
What
that
kind of side effects are you having?
I have constipation. I had that from day one.
Yeah, me too.
That one I was like, well, you need to reel that one in real quick.
Yeah.
And I just take Miralax every day and it works. So I don't
Yeah.
forget. I just
Yeah.
don't forget. I'm not going to find out. And then I also struggled with fatigue. I still do several
Mhm.
days in.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know. Sometimes that's the medicine that I'm also on.
Yeah. The other.
If they mix or whatever early on. And then I have sulfur burps during 12.5, probably this last month,
Mhm.
that have been pretty strong.
Huh.
that I've not really had before. And it's mostly spicy food that I'm attributing it to now. Like,
Wow.
it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
I'm like, but they'll go, that's not spicy. I'm like, apparently it is. So,
Yeah. What does your doctor say about how long? Have you discussed with your doctor how long she thinks you can stay on 15 and see results of weight loss?
um, she never talks about the future for most of
Okay.
it. She just goes till she's comfortable. Basically, we do blood work.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not due till this next month.
Yeah.
Um, but we did talk about maintenance a little
Mhm.
bit. I wanted to know how it looked, how she thought it should look.
Yeah.
And I said I'd seen a bunch of different things and just wondered how she was going to treat it. And she felt getting down to a dose where you don't lose and then going every 2 weeks for at least 6 months and
Yeah.
then going from there. She said she would try. She hasn't had anybody that's gotten off of it yet,
Yeah.
but she doesn't, it's early on for them. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. I've talked to people who go down in dose and then stretch out the dose in maintenance. Some people say that they hear the food noise come back. And so then maybe it's a shorter window. So I think, and I think it's going to be different for everybody. And
and
it's just,
that's basically what I see
yeah.
is that I try to get something from everybody. Like, what are they doing? And if I try it, does it work for me?
Yeah. I even talked to a lady yesterday. We haven't aired her interview yet, but maybe we will by the time this one airs. But she was doing a small dose every 4 days. So she was doing, or maybe like a 3 milligram dose every 4 days.
Right.
And so that's how she was staying
Managing.
in
Yeah.
maintenance. Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting because I hadn't heard anyone talk about splitting, and she's on the compounded medication too, so
Right.
it's easier for her to pull it out of the
And
vial.
I'm on compound as well.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah. I started off with Mounjaro, went to Zepbound, and then the shortage took care of that. So then
Yeah.
I went compound, and that's where I sit now because I call every once in a while to see, "Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're number 6 on the
Yeah.
list."
Do you see any difference between the compound and the brand name?
I don't. I haven't seen it yet, except the price. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cheaper.
That price will get you. Yeah, that's what Christopher says too. He's done both ways and he doesn't see.
And I do agree with him. I would go back to the pen because of its easeability.
Yeah.
It's a little more tricky. I'm not a nurse style person and it
Yeah.
feels like I am. I think I had done the shot for so long with the regular pen that doing the injection seemed to be nothing.
Yeah.
I
Good.
didn't start off with the compound. I started off with the other one and I was like, well, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
My doctor is probably not aware that I'm on the compound because she keeps ordering mine. Well, they're not available.
Oh,
But she had commented that it wasn't something she would do. But she also said going cold turkey would be bad for
yeah.
this particular medicine. So I weighed that in my own mind and went with, I'll do it and see what
Yeah.
happens. And if she outright asks me, I'll tell her. But she
Yeah.
hasn't asked me yet. So
Don't ask, don't tell policy.
yeah, that's right. If she asks me, I won't lie. But
Yeah. At
she
my
hasn't.
checkup in March, I just told my doctor, I said, yeah, I'm on compounded tirzepatide and here's my results. I had it on
Mhm.
a spreadsheet and she was like, she
Yeah,
like said
I
nothing.
don't know. I told my husband the first shot, though, I was nervous
Yeah.
because I'm like, well, the vial's in the fridge. If
Yeah.
something happens, give him the vial and see what was actually in it. But,
Yeah.
after I got past that, it was like, okay, I feel
Which
like it's the same. And
yeah. Which compounding pharmacy is yours coming from?
I'm using Orderly, and specifically the ones I had watched said that you didn't have to pay another fee. So I don't pay a fee, you just pay for
That's
the compound.
yeah.
And they have things you can join, there's support groups and all that. The only thing is, like, I'm not on Facebook. I don't have an account or anything. I'm too technologically disturbed, I guess, for that. But I thought I have a doctor. So I felt good about it.
Yeah.
Or obviously they have a doctor that orders it for you and you have to turn all your information in.
Mhm.
But I thought that does work for me because I am working with somebody
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. Well,
And mine's every month, not every 3 months. It's every month you have to go
do you have
to
to
the doctor.
pay the doctor
Yep.
every?
I don't have to pay every other because I see the nurse in between. They
Okay.
document my weight and
Uh,
then every other. Ironically, the insurance company wants to know what you're doing, but I said, but they're not covering it. She goes, well, that's how they approve drugs.
oh, well,
Is they do that. So I'm like, okay, I'll tell
yeah.
you because I'm thinking maybe they ought to pay me something. Then maybe I would.
Yeah. Yeah, that stinks. Maybe someday everyone can be covered, but
I'm not
for us, not
diabetic.
today.
I'm not diabetic. I'm not, I had probably higher blood pressure, which I don't have anymore,
Mhm.
but nothing to the extent to be on medications of any kind. So you're just nobody at that point. And I
Yeah.
believe stress played a part in mine all along the years, just thinking back. It's a bigger factor than people give it credit for.
I mean, it really is. Did you hear a lot of food noise before the
Oh,
medication?
yes,
You
always.
did.
Yeah, and I could watch you eat and gain 5 pounds. I'm like, this is not fair. I know I've had less than them
Yeah.
today, and I'm gaining.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
everything I ever did was they give you a pill. It's like, oh, you go on the pill, you go off the pill, you go on something else to help that. And then that gains 10 pounds and then you don't lose that. And then just kind of spiraled through
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely same for me. It's interesting. I go back to the doctor before you started on Mounjaro told you, "Oh, if you could just lose some weight."
Yep. It's
And
all the time. Yeah. And
and
actually, a lot of the doctors I saw said, well, you need to lose this. And I'm like, you feel like just saying, well, yeah, I should try that once. I've done it all the time.
yeah.
Not once in a while,
Yeah.
like you just mentioned, like I just figured it out since you told me.
Yeah, like, "Gee, I never
Yeah.
thought about
Yeah.
that,"
Thanks for
"I never tried
sharing.
to
Yeah.
lose weight. Wow, what a concept. I've only been trying, like, my whole
Life.
adult
Yeah.
life."
Mine's been since sixth grade. I
Yeah.
did lose weight in high school, but, then they're like, oh, you're going to get anorexia. It's
Oh
like,
my god.
because I was too thin for people. And then, you gain more weight, you get married and have kids, and
Yeah.
then you eat off their plate because you don't want to throw that away. And
Yeah.
it's not that much, it's just a couple bites.
Right. You don't and you do it before you even think about it a lot of times. You're like,
And
"Ah."
I do the cooking. So, um,
Yeah.
and always have. So I could have controlled it, I guess. But I made stuff I liked and it was good.
Have you changed the way you cooked any
Yeah,
now?
I definitely changed a lot. I used to bake all the time and
Okay.
now I just don't.
Yeah.
I cook instead.
Yeah. What are
Baking
some
still is
Yeah,
still
go
a
ahead.
trigger.
Well, yeah, I love to bake because
Yep.
I love to eat all the
That I bake. Yeah, I bake well. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's good.
yeah. If I make chocolate chip cookies, I am eating all the chocolate chip
Yeah.
cookies.
Sometimes it doesn't make it to chocolate chip cookies
Right? It's
because
just
its dough is good. Yeah, I know you're not supposed to, but it's good.
I mean, when I was probably right around the time you're saying, like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I used to mix up cookie dough with the intent just to eat it
Yep.
raw.
Was
So
good.
it was delicious.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I said, if you make good cookie dough, well, how is she going to know if they're going to be good cookies if you don't test it?
Right. We have to test it. So
That's right.
what are some of the things you like to cook now, like for dinners and stuff?
I do a lot of chicken and I do like, we, in Iowa, we have beef. So even though they don't recommend that, that's what I have. So I do hamburger items. I just do less of it. Roasts and steaks. People go out for steaks. I have it at home all the
Yeah.
time.
I think beef is great. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got your highest level of protein. I,
And it's good here. I get it from a
yeah.
farmer. So it's
Fresh.
not from
Yeah.
the store. It's from
Fresh.
a farmer. And you get it by the half or the quarter. So Your freezer's full of it.
I was
So
gonna say,
that's
do you have
what
a
you're
big freezer?
yep, that's what you're eating.
Yeah,
My husband's from a farm family. That's the whole life.
yeah. We lived in Omaha about 10 years ago, and I was always impressed with how fresh the food was in the grocery store compared to where we live now in North Carolina. So, like, the eggs would be more yellow.
Yep.
The vegetables would be like the mushrooms had more dirt, like it was just
Yeah.
like fresh, like it had just come out of the ground, and the
Yeah, a lot of
milk
it
was
is.
better. Yeah, everything was just because I mean you don't have that delay, I guess, in being it all over the place. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's awesome that you're able to buy and freeze, and uh,
Yep.
I think that's great. Do you
So,
do like grass fed, or is that like a thing up in Iowa, or
well,
not
I
really?
mean, a lot of them around this area are corn fed because
Yeah,
it's Iowa.
yeah,
But still, I feel like those are all good. They're more not as processed. The people I'm buying from, it's out in their field and they're eating the same meat. So
they
I
must be good.
figure they're not giving me the bad stuff because they're eating it also.
Yeah.
So
I watched a documentary and the guy was a chicken farmer and he said, I wouldn't eat chickens from the from my you're like, oof,
yeah,
that's
they're
disturbing.
big. The chickens that are raised out here are big. I mean, then you go to the store, you're like, that's not a chicken. That's
Yeah,
not chicken. Yeah.
we I brought home some big chicken breasts the other day and my husband's like, what were these chickens on? They came out this big. I'm like, I don't know.
Don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably don't want to know. Do you have like a protein goal that you try to hit, a daily amount of protein?
Well, after early on, I didn't know any of these things. I read about Mounjaro after I got on it because I didn't know it existed till I was talking to the doctor. And I did a lot of YouTube videos and watched a lot of people. And so it wasn't till probably I was past 7.5 before I learned about the protein that you should really work on that.
Yeah.
So I did. So I probably shoot for 20 to 30 per meal. The doctor's not a fan of the high amounts of protein because he says it affects your kidneys. But everything I read says stuff different. So I thought, well, if I at least do 20 and try
Yeah.
not to go over 30, that should be a happy medium.
Yeah, I think I my opinion would be you're fine.
Well,
But I'm not a doctor. So,
and the thing is, after doing that, I realized how little protein I probably ate before.
yeah, and it's hard to get 20 or 30 grams. I'm like, unless
Yeah.
you're eating like 3 or 4 ounces of chicken or 3 or 4
Yeah.
ounces
Right.
of hamburger, or if you're eating like
But you
some
don't get that
toast.
for breakfast. I would have Pop Tarts and
Yeah,
toast with jelly. And now, okay, put peanut butter with it. Well, that's
yeah,
still tear the whole thing. And now I do eggs or Greek yogurt
yeah,
and I won't have toast with it. I've
yeah,
learned to not do that. And it's made a difference. And it's made a difference to my husband as well, enough that he started eating breakfast because of me,
oh, well, that's good.
because he was eating the Pop Tarts and the toast and just feeling hungry later. He's like, just
Yeah,
makes me hungry. And
yeah,
then once he started doing that, now he has to eat breakfast.
yeah,
So it's changed for him, and no chips in the house
yeah,
at all. And we do eat out once a week, but it's controlled and we eat in with other people as a form of socialization.
yeah. What day of the week do you take your shot?
I vary from Wednesday to Friday.
Oh, do you? Depending
Yeah.
on what's going on?
Depending on what's going on. My struggles, I have food noise still.
Okay.
Early on, probably up through 10. I had a lot of suppression, which was great.
Yeah.
But since then, probably not as much.
Hmm.
And I had watched somebody else and I thought it is good to have some food noise. What are you going to do? So that's how I
Yeah.
treat it. I treat it like, what am I going to pick when I'm hungry?
Yeah.
So I pick a quarter cup of nuts. I pick string cheese. I pick an apple. I pick some, and then have that maybe with yogurt and peanut butter mixed together. I'm picking differently instead of just grabbing to eat. Not to say I haven't messed up, because I have.
Yeah.
You get done and you're like, why did I go there?
Oh,
And
of
then the
course,
next
after
day,
that.
everybody's thing is just start over, just start the next day and pretend like, and that's what I do. I'm going for consistency. And for me, the weight doesn't seem to come off differently. So, like, I'm just consistent. So I might lose 2 pounds one week and the next week lose 4.5.
Oh,
And I don't feel like I did anything different. I'm not a big tracker. I do write my weight down once a week and I write left or right, which side I'm doing.
oh, okay.
Because then I'm like, I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, I would probably do the same side all the time. I wouldn't remember.
Have you only done your stomach?
I have only done my stomach. I sometimes I think like now maybe, but my legs have such problems with the veins and stuff, and with the sciatic, I'm just fearful of doing
Yeah,
my legs,
yeah, no,
thinking, will I make it worse? And
yeah.
my arm, I've just never heard a lot of good, so I just
Some people get their significant other
yeah.
to do
And my
it.
husband would probably do it. He wouldn't do it with the compound though, and I would probably freak out if he did. But the if we got back to the pens, that would be easy for him to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
for
for
sure,
sure.
but not the other way.
Because people break their stall with the different
And that's what I've kind of wanted to do it, but then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I've had such good success in my stomach and I'm still losing technically. It's only a half a pound or whatever this month,
Ugh.
but
I just think you need to move up. I mean, I that
that's
would
what,
be
well, I've got a lot of food noise. What I would say later, I'm snacky. I was hearing Christopher say that on one of his where he was getting snacky and moved up.
yep,
So
yeah,
I was thinking the same thing, but cost wise, I have one vial left. So I need to finish that out.
yeah. Well, I mean, you could draw more out of
Oh,
it.
that's true. That's
Yeah,
true. And then,
yeah,
because then I wonder, is that enough? But, I was playing a game a little bit when they had the shortages. I went and I did get a 12.5. So I went and got it. And then I thought, oh, if my compound's late, I still have a 12.5 pen to use because they last longer.
yeah,
So,
yeah, we have lots of backups.
and that's my only backup is that.
Yeah,
So I was like, well, I know it's kind of pricey, but at least I got one. And at least till December when that coupon goes away.
yeah,
I'm hoping they come out with another one, but
yeah, us too. I mean,
yeah.
but I've been on the compound the whole time. Christopher's gone back and forth, so we're very comfortable with the compound. Our pharmacy is Hallandale Pharmacy out of Florida, so
I think mine's Red Rock.
I've heard a lot of people talk about
Yeah,
Red Rock.
is
Yeah.
where mine's come. And I even went so far as to call them
Oh, you
and
did?
talk to them and just question the vial itself. Just, oh, what's this mean and that. And they were very responsive. And I didn't use the phone number they gave me. I used the one out of Google, just being skeptic.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
felt like I did a little due diligence to see that I would, and theirs is true trizepatide, so it's not got any additives, at least at this point.
yeah.
They might have to later, but
Do you have to do 2 shots to get to the 12.5, or do they mix it
no,
up so you just
they
have to
mix
take
it
one?
up. Yeah, I do. Yeah, just mine's just one shot of 63, I think. 63,
Yeah,
64.
yeah, because it depends on how
I think
they
it's 63 because the vial doesn't come or your shots don't come that way. So I try to get in the middle.
yeah. Yeah, when I went to up to 12.5, my instructions were pull 10 units out of one needle and then get another needle and pull 25 unit or
Oh,
100.
wow.
And I was like, "I'm not taking 2 shots." Like, I'm like, "No. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
doing it."
one's enough.
Yeah, and I messaged my provider, Mochi, and I said, "Can you switch me to a different pharmacy that mixes it up? I've heard Red Rock doesn't make you take 2." And we went back and forth, and they
Give
couldn't or
on
they
that.
wouldn't switch me. I don't know. I didn't get switched. So I never went above 12.5. And actually, that's one of the reasons as soon as I hit my goal weight, I dropped back down because I was like,
Stop the 2 shots. Yeah.
I don't want to take 2 shots. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just being such a big baby about it. But anyway,
Well, and when I stretched, well, where I go Wednesday, Friday, depending on what's going on, I don't, I'm odd in that I have more food suppression towards the end, which I find
oh, really?
odd. If I'm doing a shot on Thursday, Tuesday, I'm like, I'm good.
Well, that's
which
good.
and early on doesn't feel like much. So I don't know what's up with that because that's different from a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
But
maybe
I go with
next time.
consistency.
Yeah,
Keep doing it because the scale doesn't react necessarily to my shot or my weigh-in day.
and
Yeah.
sometimes it takes the scale a minute to catch up with everything
With
that's
whatever's going on. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
and
just do once a week and just chart that myself. And I know a lot of people get up. I weigh with my clothes on because I have to weigh at the doctor and I want to see that I'm weighing the same.
yeah, oh,
So
okay.
mine are done with no shoes, of course, can never wear the shoes.
Right.
And then just with whatever I'm wearing, that's
Yeah.
what I weigh.
Do you have, like, a weigh-in outfit that you wear every time?
No, I don't, but I should. I said this summer's probably I got capris on. They weigh less than pants.
Yep,
So
yep. I always take off my jewelry, my
yeah.
watch.
I haven't done any of those things yet. I just my shoes because I'm like, well, we know that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
And my purse, drop the purse. Yeah,
Oh,
get
yeah,
rid of
for
that. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I know all the tricks from years of, Weight
Weight
Watchers
Watchers.
trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have you changed? You've changed sizes, obviously,
Yep.
100 pounds, 108 pounds down.
Yep.
Have you bought you probably have to buy clothes, or did you
Yeah.
have clothes?
I struggle with that quite a bit because I don't want to spend a lot of money doing it. I found the sweet spot to be three. I need three pairs of pants, three pairs of underwear, three bra, the bra thing.
Yeah,
Um, just three for washing wise
yeah,
to make it work. And that's where I sit right now. I have a few more shirts, but they're a little more forgiving.
yeah.
The pants were forgiving before, where now I'm into regular pants, so they don't sell elastic for a lot of those.
Right.
They want you to zip them up and
Yeah, get you some leggings.
yeah. Well, and then you get the leggings, it's like, well, that's really tight. I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a journey figuring out have you gotten rid of those 100
Um,
pound clothes?
I'm a skeptic just because they've said that people gain back two-thirds of the weight, and
Yeah,
financially that would just be devastating.
yeah.
So I have taken them out of my closet and drawers and put them in my basement. They're
Alright.
put away, but not gone.
Yeah.
And then I figured they're all ready to get rid of. I want to at least be a year out.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to really get a comfort level with it and figure out, can I really take this medicine long term and how's that gonna look? And
I want to be off of it, but
yeah,
it might not be the case. And
right.
then if I get to 15, will it stop working?
Well, I mean, I've heard that the 15 I had a doctor tell me that the 15 will work for up to 2 years.
Oh,
Now
okay.
now I've never talked to anyone that has gone up to 15 and been on 2 years, but
Right.
I really wanna believe that.
So do
So,
I.
um, so you can take that for what it's worth. I guess in the surmount studies, they only got to 15 and then they went a little bit more and then they,
Just
stopped.
quit.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
Because
So,
they did a
and
year and said okay, it's a year, and now
yeah,
they gained the weight back or didn't. And I find it really nice to watch all the videos just to find out what's working for other people, not
yeah,
working.
yeah. Well, and I also hope that in a year from now or 2 years or however, there'll be other newer medications that come along down the pike where,
Right.
maybe it'll be a pill or maybe it'll be under the tongue or maybe it'll be a shot that lasts for a month and they're working on so many different forms of
Formulas.
these
Yeah.
GLP-1s that I'm hopeful. I think that we can keep this off.
Yeah. I'm
I
hoping
We're
for
going to
me.
keep this off, Barb. We're
Well,
going
I
to keep
know.
this
That's why
off.
I was like, it seems I put in the effort before and got no results. I put in the effort now and I get results.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, and it's so nice
Yes.
when something works
Like, oh, I worked really hard this whole week and I have something to show for
to
it.
show for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's also a big motivator
Yeah, yeah.
to keep
Um,
going. Yeah.
any tips or things you wish you knew when you started? Anything you'd tell somebody who maybe is thinking about starting this journey?
Well, I would say the consistency part would be the big deal
Mhm.
because I would do it and think there's no way I stayed the same
Yeah.
doing what I did. I walk 4 to 5 miles a day
Ugh.
and mine are different. I started very slowly
Mm.
with 15 minutes, then 20.
Yep.
When I got to 30, I thought life was the best. And now I do 2 hours.
That's
But I
awesome.
don't do it at once, and I
Yeah.
would tell somebody, "You don't have to go outside." Mine's I watched a gal that did hers in the house, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. I house walk.
How I yeah. You do have
And
a watch that tracks
I
steps?
do now just to see, but early on, probably the first 4 or 5 months, I did it by time. So, it
Okay.
took me a half an hour to do a mile.
Yeah.
So I made a point of I need to walk this, I have to walk for a half an hour and then I can quit. And
That
if I
works.
can't do a half an hour because I had pain, I would do 10 minutes and then later do another 10 and then do another 10
Yeah,
so
split
that
it
the cumulative out of the day equaled what I need to walk. And that's still what I do now. I try
Oh,
to
that's
get
great.
an hour in when I wake up. And then after that, get the rest in by time. And I do chart it now, but just to confirm what I was thinking.
Yeah. That's a great I love that you break it up if you can't do it all at one time for whatever reason, so that and it because it all counts, like, all
Yeah.
those steps add it's like the little pounds lost add up to a lot of
Well,
pounds
and
lost.
quite frankly, everything I've ever seen is it's not the cardio, the walking that's making me lose weight. It's the movement. And
Yeah.
when you're 100 pounds over, like what I was, any movement's good.
Any
I
movement
had a
is good.
sedentary job for 17 years prior to that. And that's where my job was, in front of a computer, sitting down, and that's where you need to be. And so they'll tell you, like, oh, you got to go to the gym. No, you don't. You don't have to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's nice if you can, but like for me, the financial burden of that would be too much.
Yeah.
And I thought, if it rains, it's in here, snows, all those things, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too, somebody stops and talks to you. Um,
How dare
Yeah,
they?
I have to go to the bathroom, whatever it is, I have no excuses at home.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
my husband's used to it. So he'll talk to me while I'm making laps around the house.
perfect.
And he'll go, "What? I'm walking." And he's used to that. And it bothers a lot of people that I don't walk outside. I said, I can't do steps because of my back and my knees.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can do them, but not like that. And so I just walk, and a lot of it's done in a very short 20 steps this way, turn around, comes 20 steps that way.
I
And
love it. I love that
and
you figured it
it's
out.
it's
It's
something
awesome.
you can keep in your brain. Like you just go over things in your brain. Don't listen to something, just it's a good stress reliever then,
Yeah. I
you
find I
know.
always have my best ideas when I'm walking.
Yeah, and just thinking. And
Yeah.
it's weird what thoughts come up.
Yeah. So you can rhyme
Yeah,
down.
I'm wearing pajamas and tennis shoes when I'm walking. But I need the good shoes so I don't wreck myself more,
Yep.
but who cares? No one's here.
You can walk around naked if you want.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm still walking.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Barb. It's been great talking with you today, and I wish you much success in the rest of your journey. And I congratulate you
Thank you.
on losing the 108. And you know what? I think you're headed in the right direction. You're doing all the right things. So I think that's awesome. I love how you're walking around the house and getting it all
Yep.
in and you're doing what you can do. And that's the key right there. You do what you can do. So
Right.
awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, I mean, that's it today, guys. Thanks for watching The Downsized Dish. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to be on The Downsized Dish, send me an email to ldurham@folio28.com. We'll have that in the notes. And don't forget to join us Thursday night for our Downsized Live. We come on YouTube Thursday nights at 7 Eastern Time. So, Barb, that's an hour off for you.
That's right.
And not over there in Iowa. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like this video. And thanks for watching The Downsides. See you next time.